We're going to talk about doing some pre-trips today, and I actually have some dash cam footage that I kind of need your help with. All that on today's safety update. Hello and welcome to another episode or edition or volume or whatever we kind of call these things. I don't know. I kind of think they're episodes, but my mind could be swayed one way or the other. But anyways, welcome to another safety update. I, of course, am Sam, and I am the safety supervisor here at Meiborg and Silver Arrow. Today, I'm actually rocking the Silver Arrow shirt. So if you're Silver Arrow, represent. Anyways, moving on. We need to talk about pre-trips a little bit here. I know that we require it. I know the FMCSA requires it. And I know that sometimes they can kind of be rushed a little bit. I know. I've been in trucking my whole life. I know what goes on out there. Anyways, but we need to start making sure that we're getting back to the basics of the pre-trip. If you want, you can go back. I'll put a link up here somewhere, I think. And right in front of this nice new picture I've got. If you notice, I got some new wall art up here. I don't know if that's exactly where it's going to stay, but that's where it is for the time being. But huge thanks to Zach for getting me that cool picture of the cab over and the old school trailer in front of the warehouse in Houston. It's a cool picture. So anyways, thanks, Zach. But I'll put a link up here and even in the comments below, because we did do a video on doing the proper pre-trip, what you should look for, especially on the truck. We have seen some issues arise. We have had some failed inspections, and they could have been caught had we done maybe a little bit more thorough of a pre-trip. We have also, in the past 2-3 weeks, we have had two steer tire blowouts on two separate trucks, two separate states. But we've had two separate steer tire blowouts, and yes, I understand that sometimes things happen or whatever, but a steer tire blowout is not the most common thing. And so again, make sure that we're doing our pre-trips. Make sure that you're checking the tire pressure. Make sure that you're even looking at the tires to make sure there's no cracking or anything like that. Make sure that you're looking at all the fluids inside your engine, checking the oil, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you just do a proper pre-trip, making sure that the lights are working. We've had a couple issues where lights have not been working. One, we actually ended up finding a mouse nest in a trailer. So we assumed that mice were up there kind of chewing around. Unfortunately, the DOT officer was the one that found the mouse nest because he had our driver pulled over because his brake lights were not working. One was flickering and the other one wasn't working. So found a mouse nest up there. It happens. Trailers are probably a little warm. Mice want to get up in there. I don't know the circumstances, but it happens. So make sure that you are doing proper pre-trips before you get started. And I know that the FMCSA doesn't necessarily, I'll get it, require a post-trip inspection, but we do. We want you guys to be doing post-trip inspections. And I know you're thinking, well, if I just do a good pre-trip inspection, I don't need to do a post-trip because I'll just do a pre-trip the next morning or before I get started again. And while, yes, I understand that reasoning, it's still a great idea to do a proper post-trip, just because a lot of things can happen in transit, i.e. lights going out, or you hit something and it cracks a hose or something like that, and all of a sudden you've got fluid leaking onto the ground. Yes, you'll catch it in the pre-trip the next morning, but all of your fluid will already be gone. Does that make sense? So it's a great idea, and we actually do want you guys to do this. Do a post-trip after you get done with everything. Doesn't have to be necessarily as thorough as the pre-trip, but just do a walk around. Make sure that nothing's leaking under your truck. Make sure that your lights are still working. Make sure that your tires are inflated. It was kind of funny the other day. We had a driver pull up into the shop area. He was still outside, and I went out and talked to him, and I didn't even see it, but Bill Meiborg came up behind us and had his hammer out and was thumping on the tires, in the back there, just to make sure that they're properly inflated. You need to have a hammer out there to thump on those things. You can't just do it with your foot. Make sure that you have the proper tools also to do the pre-trip. And if you need some tools with that, if you need a hammer or anything like that, we can help you out with that, okay? But just please, please, please make sure that you're doing proper pre-trips, because here's the deal, and I'll go on my soapbox for just 30 seconds if you bear with me. You need to do your proper pre-trips, because if you don't and DOT pulls you over, it's such a bunch of wasted time and money. And that's something that we really don't need to waste, okay? If DOT catches something, if you have like brake issues that you could have caught, DOT is going to put you out of service. Then you're stuck on the side of the road for 10 hours and you have a fine on top of that. So it's really a good idea for you guys, for your days, for your career as a driver, to do a proper pre-trip so that you're not stuck sitting at a weigh station for 10 hours because you got put out of service for something that could have been caught, or you don't have to pay a fine of some sort for something that could have been caught. So it's a good idea for you to make sure that your equipment is looking good, and the way to do that is to do a proper pre-trip, okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. If you have questions, again, I got a link down below on a video we did on a pre-trip. Aaron in the shop did a very thorough walkthrough of the truck. So if you need an idea of what to do, go watch that video, or feel free to contact me. I can help you out with that too. Okay, so now let's take a look at a dash cam video that I'm not entirely certain what's going on in it. Okay, so here we are. We're on an interstate system. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, which, never been. Actually, I take it back. I've been around. I've never been into Cleveland, but I hear it's a lovely town. Anyways, we're in Cleveland, Ohio here on an interstate system, and we're driving along there, maybe going a little fast, but whatever. But here's the deal. Something happens in this video. Let's take a look. All right, so driving along, and all of a sudden, we just got a bunch of smoke coming out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, the smoke is gone. Like, the smoke is gone and whatever. So it's just, the reason I've been sitting on this video for quite a while, because I don't know what to make of it. It's a really, really weird, kind of random video, because if you look up ahead, there's obviously a car up there that starts to smoke and causes us to slow down, causes all the traffic to slow down. But then once the smoke clears, like, the car is gone. It's like literally magicians out on the interstate. The smoke clears and there's nothing. There's nothing on the side. The car didn't pull over to the side of the road. Maybe the only thing I could think of is he took a quick exit, but there's nothing there. I don't know what happened to that car, and I don't know where the smoke went, and I mean there's nowhere for the car to pull off to. He's not on any shoulder. So again, I'm showing this video because I'm kind of confused. I don't know what happened in this video, but the reason why I want to show this is because you guys never know what's going to happen out there. All of a sudden you're just driving along and you got a massive pile of smoke in front of you. Now, luckily it wasn't very heavily, the roads weren't very busy that day. We just had one car in front of us, and he stepped on the brakes too a little bit, but luckily we were able to get slowed down in time to avoid any sort of thing, and it looks like all the other trucks were doing good too. But this video absolutely just baffles me, because I don't know what caused the smoke from the car. I don't know where the car went. I don't know why it stopped smoking. I got more questions than answers today for you with this dash cam video. But the reason I want to show it to you is because you just never know what you're going to encounter on the road. And I come from a line of drivers. My father was a driver for a while, and the stories he's got of just weird stuff that he saw out on the road. And you guys have told me numerous stories. Even if I didn't ask for them, you guys have told them to me. I'm just kidding. I always like your stories. chill out. But no, there's just weird stuff that always happens. So it just is a reminder for you today to just always be on your guard. I know sometimes, you're in hour number 9 of your day and you're driving and you might get a little tired, but you just never know what's going to happen. I've got numerous videos of drivers hitting deer. I've shown you numerous videos of cars just pulling out in front of you. And now we have a video of just a random smoking incident and a car disappearing. I don't know what happened here. I really don't. I don't know what happened to the car. And maybe it was a spontaneous combustion and it just disappeared. I have no clue. But I just want you guys to be aware. This is the stuff we see. Like, this is the stuff that you see on the road. And this is weird stuff. And this is stuff that you need to make sure as the professional driver that you are ready for. I know you can't really prepare for a car to go up and smoke and then disappear on you, but this is just the type of stuff that you just need to be prepared for. Always be driving defensively out there. Always be scanning your mirrors in case something like this, if a car was stopped in the lane, this driver should know, do I have my right lane available? Do I have my left lane available? What am I going to do? Especially in city traffic, just because there's obviously more traffic around, more things that could happen to you. So, but yeah, I just thought this was a really goofy dash cam video, but it serves as a really good reminder that you just don't know what's going to happen out there. You got some really random stuff that could happen. So, just be aware. I just want to get you guys, like I said, we show these dash cam videos so that you can think of what you would do, so it kind of helps as a reminder, starts a conversation. I love getting the texts from you guys. I'm sure I'll probably be getting a ton of texts off of this one with your theories. As goofy as some of them might be, I'll listen to all of them. But just be prepared, okay? You just never know what you're going to see out there on the road. So anyways, if you know what happened, man, tell me. If you have a theory, tell me. I love getting the conversations going off of these dash cam videos. This is exactly why I do all these. Just because you guys have great minds and you're always thinking of, I think this happened, or I would do this, or I'd do that, and great, perfect. That's exactly why we do this. So anyways, that's this week's dash cam. If you do have questions, comments, concerns, my contact information is at the bottom. You know this. You can come in and talk to me as well. I'm at the 11th Street at the shop there, so feel free to come on in and we can discuss this or whatever you need to. So anyways, until next time though, I say it all the time. I mean it every time. Drive safe.